You think back to our time in Brooklyn. What do you think of?
It's just crazy how fast the game has changed since I came into the league. It usually is like a slow uptick, but it's like clearly different from. What was your last year in the league?
14.
And it's from 14 to now.
Right
it's
then
like,
is when I feel like
that looked like the
started to do
90s
this,
compared
right?
to.
Started to do this.
Yeah,
We done with the 90s.
the 14s, the 10s through the 14s look like the old style of ball,
Right.
Because of the,
It's crazy right now.
But now it just look like
it's
we
totally
playing
different.
2K. I love that we shoot so many threes. I love that we got big shooting threes now. I love that we got so much space to work. And I even love that you can throw zones in there. They mixing up defense.
That's an evolution, I think, in the last 6 months even.
That's like when we play Houston. Like Ime Udoka does a good job of that. He will go one possession regular man, next possession zone, go back to man, the next 3 possession zone, all in the first
Throwing
quarter.
you off balance.
In the first quarter, and it's like, I don't care how good you are as a team, how connected you are as a group, how well you pass. Guys are unselfish. If a coach does that and you're not prepared for it,
you all off balance.
You all off balance.
You got no rhythm. I'm gonna even go even more drastic. Who's even more crazier with it? Erik Spoelstra will go 48 straight minutes of zone.
And he will
start the game with on zone.
And he might 1-2-2 press you. Back into his zone.
Back into his zone and put Bam at the top.
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of coaches being creative defensively, and that's pushing players to become better offensively. Because when I'm working out, I'm thinking like, because now even a man-on-man defense starting to look like a zone a little bit with so many gaps.
Yeah, so many gaps, guys.
If you can't shoot, for sure they're going to be in the zone.
Yeah.
If you got non-shooters on the floor, they're going to for sure be loaded up.
They might not be in zone, but they're sitting in the lane.
Exactly.
Right?
And they're not moving.
Exactly.
And they're not moving. If a guy's in the corner and he can't shoot the 3 and he can't finish, there's a lot of guys. The guy guarding the corner guy is going to be so far up the lane that you're not going to be able to go anywhere. They don't mind if you go back door.
They'll let you be under 6'9" too. So there's a lot of dudes who can't shoot that's 6'4", 6'5", that's playing. And you can just put Jokic on them. And if you're not getting an offensive rebound on him, you're not going to lay up over him.
Yeah.
He's not even looking at you. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't shoot if you just can't shoot at all.
It's a premium. It's a
You're
premium.
not even going to be in the league.
It's
I'm
hard.
sorry.
But that's why OKC's defense is great. They got individual defenders. They get in the gaps. They're willing to give up threes, but they're going to fly at you.
Yeah.
They protect their paint. So it looks like a zone, but it's a man. But then they'll go zone. Then they'll go zone, nail catch, man. Corner catch, man.
Yeah, they switch it up in the possession.
During the possession, right?
See, these coaches are getting creative, man, on the defense. But like you said, it's because of the offense has become so.
It's tit for tat. Offense got so good, we got to change our defense.
Yeah, we got to figure it out.
Defense gets good now. Like you said, it's pushing you to think about how do I find new spaces, right?
Yeah. And when you're looking at OKC, though, do you, they play an ISO-based game.
They do.
When you think about
offensively, they do. So they have Shea, which he's, historically elite ISO player, right? Then they have Jalen, who's like kind of an all-rounder. Chet brings versatility. The key to me is Hartenstein in a way, because he for 20 to 30 minutes a game becomes like a fulcrum, a hub. Like the DHOs, the floater, the passing. To just take the right, just it's like the rug that brings the room together.
Bigs, man, that floater, you get way more points than just chucking up threes, man. Especially when you play with great players. But yeah, he's been a hub for them, getting those other guys involved.
Yeah. It doesn't make Shea have to do it in isolation the whole game. It doesn't make Jalen feel like, I got to do it all the time.
Yeah, especially in the postseason when the game ramps up physically, to be able to have a big as a hub, okay, you pressure me, okay, you stop me, boom, now I'm playing chase game.
Right.
Now you can't grab me then.
Right.
Now I'm playing chase game, I can go back door, which Hartenstein can, we know he makes that back door pass with the best of them. You can play chase with him now, he's one of the best screen setters we have in the league, and now Shea's coming off, or J-Dub is coming off, If the big helps up too much and the guard ain't get under Hartenstein, we got lob threat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or we got skip to the corner. So, having that hub right there, having a 5 that can play from the 3-point line all the way into the paint, and not even like you said, he don't need to shoot threes. He know his game. You give it to me in the pinch post. You give it to me on delay action. Y'all trust me to make the right play.
I mean, those bigs got to come into the league with that now, right?
Right. Nowadays, you got to be able to play DHO, pinch post, like move, make decisions.
Know which angle to set it on.
Right.
You know, just,
When to keep, when to get rid of it.
Yeah.
I think he, though, like, he is the fulcrum for their randomness. Shea is, he's just so elite at it. He's going to attack, but he's kind of the fulcrum to like, now we're going, they've 2 on Shea, now we're going to go play. He's going to play make on
He
the
knows
other
when to
side.
flash. You can tell sometimes his flash is random.
Right.
You know, the play might break down a little bit. We ain't got nothing. He just run up there.
Great feel for
You know, you know,
random chaos.
You know what I'm saying? That
Organized
random
chaos.
Yeah, organized chaos. You know what I'm saying? So they got a damn good team. Good team.
It's fun to watch.
I love that the league is trending towards that, though. That's just more hooping. It's
Right.
not, I mean, structure is good, don't get me wrong, but like, I think you maximize your players when you just let them play. Like I seen Obi Toppin playing like some of his best ball that way. I seen Nick Neesmith playing some of his best ball where it's like you're not restricted to like, all right, let me set this screen and just wait for the jump shot. Like they feel comfortable taking somebody off the dribble. T.J. McConnell coming to the game, you feel like it's his team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's just the.
But I would give Rick Carlisle a lot.
I was about to say,
He's always been like that.
That's them.
Yeah, I think he's very adaptable.
Yeah.
What he's done in these 3-4 years is built an identity with his roster. Right?
Yes.
Like you said, Bron. Like it's not like okay mismatch.
Right.
He's like that's not us.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
found identity, but it doesn't work if those guys don't have enough freedom to play blender.
Right.
They have freedom to play blender instead of like I didn't get it. I got to throw a lob past the center to Hallie to get it back and try again. No, we just keep playing and moving.
You don't see Neesmith or Nembhard coming off pick and rolls trying to throw lobs.
Right.
They just play their game.
No, they don't. That's not what they're doing. Like everyone, they know exactly what the hell they're doing. They know their role, and they are starring in their roles, and they even going outside of their roles. I mean, we even talked about the game Neesmith had, the game one in New York when he went crazy.
Finals with that one.
Yeah, that was game one. It was down. He hit up 5 or 6 threes in the last 2 minutes or something like that. Like, you know, that's empowerment from the coaching staff. But it's also empowerment from you as an individual. You have to. A coaching staff can give you some freedom.
Right.
But a coach staff can also pull that shit back.
Yeah,
if
you
ain't doing what the hell you supposed to be doing, if you ain't earning it, now I can't just. Now you making me look bad. Nah, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't do that. So.
And what I love about Indy too, and I think it's an underrated factor, like Tyrese kicks the ball ahead,
Throws it ahead.
Like he doesn't dribble across half court every time. Like when they hand him the ball, the center hand him the ball after he kicking it ahead no matter who it is. I think. And I tell a lot of young team, like coaches who want to talk ball, I'm like, if your point guard not kicking the ball ahead, you gotta, in my opinion, your team is not going to be as good as you.
More pressure on your team.
It's way more pressure when he's not kicking that ball ahead. So when you kicking that head to Siakam and he coming downhill on whoever.
No help.
You kicking it to Obi Toppin downhill. Now he dribble handoff to Aaron Neesmith out the corner. So that kick ahead for them is the reason. Is a big reason why I feel like they've been so connected.
He's great at that, and I think what else? He's just in general a brilliant, simple early passer. Comes off pick and roll. He doesn't. If he sees someone, he just throws it, and that guy's leaning the wrong way, and now that guy's got a show and go or DHO with the corner. It gives them an advantage at all times instead of being like bogged down. So I'm impressed.
He's just an efficient. Like all his movements just seem efficient. He doesn't turn the ball over.
Right.
He don't shoot bad shots. Like I think he could be more aggressive too to score the ball sometimes.
Yeah, he might have to be.
Especially this next game, but just their connectivity is based a lot on just moving the ball, just simple plays like you said.
And they always say like, it's funny because people say like, well, they don't turn the ball over that much, but they play so fast. I think now like it's almost easier to not turn the ball over. You're not thinking about I got to make a play. He's open, chuck it. Pinch post, give it back.
Yeah.
Like you're not thinking me, I got to make a play. You're just thinking simple plays.
Yep.
So now it's not like high risk all the time because that's how we play. We just get rid of it. So you end up, and maybe I should give them more credit, but they end up almost the style allows them to not turn it over because they're just playing simple.
Yeah, you're right.
That's why it looked so weird in game one early on when they was turning the ball over so damn much.
Was that 25 turnovers?
OKC's defense, and they won that game.
Yeah, it was like 21 turnovers at halftime or something.
That's
like
crazy.
I think it was 26 for the game.
In
the finals.
Yeah, in the finals and still won.
Well, that goes back to your thing about Rick trusting these guys.
Right.
So where does he get that back? they never stopped playing.
No,
Yep.
they did not.
They never stopped playing.
And his face didn't never change either. Now,
Right.
I don't know what he said at halftime because I think they only had 5 or 6 in the second half. But listen, we got here because this is how we play.
Yep.
You know, and you know, they got
As
lot
a
of
coach, though, coming in the half, and you got 21 turnovers.
In a finals
what are you
game?
What are you thinking as a coach then?
Hang yourself. No, you
Like-
honestly though. But what Rick does great, I know this.
21 is crazy.
You know,
That's 21.
That's right.
That's high
I mean,
for a whole game.
It's high, but it's also credit to OKC. Those guys, man,
Yeah,
they're
they force
unbelievably
you into
athletic and handsy and all that stuff. But I think Rick's been unbelievable at just staying even keel.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what am I going to get out of Lambase and you guys? You guys have earned my trust. Let's keep trusting it. Keep playing. It's 4
That's when
series
you
in
know
a
you
row.
got a good
Yeah.
team, though.
Yeah.
4 series in a row.
Yeah.
They've come back from like historic deficits.
Yeah.
To win
No,
in
I
the
love that
playoffs.
mental fortitude as
Yeah.
a team. Like they are mentally strong. They're disciplined on what they want to do, and they're gonna live and die on who they are. They're not making no changes. I respect that as a team.
It's really a good team.
Yeah, they don't get bogged down.
Nah.
Right? Like when you sometimes in the playoffs things get tight. You start to slow down. You start thinking too much. They just keep playing. Keep
I
playing.
respect that team.
This episode is sponsored in part by American Express. There's something special about grabbing dinner before heading to a game. For me, the ideal night starts with a great meal. Maybe a great steak and some red wine. It's not just about the food though. It's the anticipation, the buzz of the upcoming matchup. There's nothing better than talking about the big game with your friends. Then there's the game itself. I've seen some incredible moments from the stands. Game winners, record-breaking performances, even some rookie breakouts that had the whole arena on its feet. With Amex Gold, catch points on the court and card member perks off the court. You earn 4 times membership rewards points at purchases at restaurants on up to $50,000 per year. So you can fuel up at your favorite restaurant before the game. Plus, you can get to tip off on time with card member entrances at select venues around the world. So there's no need to skip dessert. That's the powerful backing of American Express. Card member entrance not limited to Amex Platinum Card. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/withamex.
One thing that I want to ask you about is like how you found basketball and like how did it take hold of you? Like how old were you? What was going on? Where was it?
That's a hell of a
That's a
question.
great question. I think about that all the time. I was about 8 years old. My mom signed me up for a rec center. She just wanted me and my brother to get out the house. It wasn't to play ball. It wasn't to do anything
after school
specific.
stuff.
It's just like, y'all been in the house for 7 years. Under me and your grandma, y'all need to leave. So about 8 years old, we went to a rec center about 10 minutes from our crib. We walked in there, it was nothing but kids playing and hooping and running up and down the court. And I was just like, I want to join in with them. And it was just so much fun that first day. And I just wanted to come back. And I just kept coming back every day. And then when you see that ball go through the rim, it's just such a satisfying feeling. It's just like for the first time, I felt like I was doing something right in my life. You know what I'm saying? When the ball hit the rim or go through the rim. So I just love that feeling. And I just kept coming back. And then I had some great influences at the rec center. Older guys who taught me how to play, who put me on the team for the first time, just encouraged me all the time. Just, just big brothers figures to me early on. So that just built my love and the camaraderie that came with the game of basketball. It just built from there. So I want to say like 8 or 9, I really fell in love with just the process of basketball. Getting in the car, going to the gym, put my stuff on, working out, talking to my teammates, after practice, all of that stuff just became a part of me.
So from 8, 9, 10, you were like working on your game. You were
Yeah, I
just
was
playing. You were already like,
preparing
I
to
want
be
to
in
get
the NBA.
better. I want to see that. Really? Like I want to play in the league.
Yeah,
8, 9,
like
10.
I remember seeing that's when we first got dial-up internet, like when I was 9, 10 years old. So I'm on NBA.com a lot around that time when I'm 10, and I'm looking up. Vince Carter's my favorite because he's dunking so much, and he showed enthusiasm in early in his career. So I was attracted to what he was doing, and so I just kept researching on NBA.com, trying to find anything inside stuff, and I was just looking for stuff that was basketball at the highest level, and that's where the love built. And then I was just like, I want to do that. Told my mom's dad at 9. I just started training. I was training before that, fundamentally, working on my left hand, right hand, jump shot stuff. But my training just became, the regimen became,
Intentional.
yeah, just what I was. Yeah, I could tell. Box jumps, running up hills, duck walks. Shooting 200 shots a day. My mom and my trainer, who's my godfather, who's my coach, like somebody I really hung out with before all of this, he started to get upset with me in workouts. So I just started seeing everybody vibe change around me. So mine's just changed, and I just became more focused on wanting to be the best player I could be.
That's interesting because you could go two ways at that age.
Yeah,
Right? You can be like, this is a lot.
Too much,
But
yeah.
you kind of embraced it in a way.
I enjoyed it. I felt like from like 6 to 7, 8 years old, I was outside running around though. So I kind of understood my body.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I knew what I could do.
Playing football, playing tag,
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. Jumping rope. I was just riding my bike,
Yeah.
just doing anything outside up until, so I just think all that, it's just all hit at like one point. I was just having so much fun with my friends, and I was using my body and finding out new things. I can run fast. I could jump. I could touch the backboard. Damn, I didn't know I could do that. So you just get more enlightened as a human being.
Yeah.
You know,
It inspired you.
Yeah, it just inspired me to be out there, and I think that's just what's keeping me going today, to be honest.
And who, like, I think you mentioned your godfather, but like him, maybe others, like who were like, maybe Wanda, who was your like key believers? I think everyone needs someone that's like, you can do this, you're great.
Yeah, it's my mom's for sure. I mean, obviously, it's always gonna be your mom's. Yeah, but it's like I tune her out at a certain point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was for sure. When I look back on it, I for sure appreciated my mom telling me that I was gonna be great. But I always knew that, of course, she's gonna say that. She was calling me handsome when I was going to school, and they was like, nah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I understand.
I can relate to that one.
I get that, so I was looking for some validation from my coaches, my teammates, to just be like, yo, you nice. Or somebody be like, yo, we want to pick KD on my team when you're outside. So my friends started to knock on my door, can KD come play today? Like, that's how I started to feel confident in myself. And then my coaches was continuing to work with me every day. So it's easy. I seen them say, nah, this kid trash, don't bring him back tomorrow. But they kept inviting me back. So my confidence.
You knew something was there.
Yeah, I just knew something was up. Something was, what I mean?
Older kids, like, validating you.
Exactly. So everybody around me kind of understood what this was before me, So and I started to become more enlightened and open my eyes to what this is as 10, 11, 12, 13. And I just hit the ground running.
You walk in the gym, kids happy to see you.
Yeah,
happy to see. Okay, back.
Let's play right now.
Yeah,
you know
right.
what I'm saying? So I love that camaraderie, man. I was just grateful to have a rec center in my neighborhood that, provided a space for the kids, you know what I'm saying? And I was grateful, because most of my friends come from hooping. Most of the people I met come from hooping. I traveled this world because of that, you know what I'm saying? So everything just stemmed back to I just enjoy being in that gym. That community was perfect for me.
We've spent a lot of time together. Pre-Golden State, Brooklyn. Like, you have an obsessive work ethic around your routine and like staying sharp and trying to get better. The seeds of that was built then? Like, that wasn't something that, like, you know.
You should have saw him this past summer, last summer, when he couldn't work out yet because his calf wasn't right. Oh, he was sitting on the sidelines,
Shooting in a chair.
Literally wanted to cry, bro.
He was so upset. Like, he couldn't, like, the first couple of weeks he couldn't do nothing besides like get up and just like. As soon as we got in the gym, we had picture day. He didn't even get dressed, didn't put his uniform on, went straight out to just start, like, just pissed and like, for sure it's in him.
Yeah, man. It's, I don't know, it's that kid-like trait. I mean, we all had obsessive shit as a kid. You play with the same toy for a month sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You did the same stuff. I just think I keep that kid-like energy in me, and I'm up, and that's what comes from, enjoying what you do, wanting to be great at what you do. Us three, we understand what that's like, being in the league for so long, being at that level, having that standard that you hold yourself to. You gotta be obsessed. I'm sorry. I mean, I know it's something that it's traits that you gotta acquire as a human being in order for you to maintain what you got.
Right.
And obsession is one of them. And we look at that and we frown upon that as human beings about stuff. But if you really truly want to be great at basketball, I'm telling you now, somebody who's done it, I don't want to speak for y'all, but I kind of just understand y'all, but you have to be obsessed with wanting to get better every day. And it's like, if you don't think that way, if you don't act that way, then just that simple, you're not going to be great at it. And so I understood that early. And like I said, and also just love doing it and having fun doing it. And that's the reason why I am today.
It's interesting, right? Like, we all share that obsessiveness about it, but like for kids out there, I think it's important for them. It's not just doing it every day. Like we sat down, Bron pours the wine, you're like, yeah, I got my work in. Like, it's on your, you're anxious, it's on your mind. Like, you'd be anxious. If you hadn't gone to the gym yet, you'd be like, like, so one. Two, like, all of us, when we get down to business, when we're in our routine, when we're doing our work, there's a standard. Like, we're not just there to, if coach said make 200 shots, it's no. It's 200, game, speed, pressure on the line, day after day after day. Just kids, I think they have to understand, like, it's not just the volume, it's not just the consistency, it's the approach.
And also they'll learn that as well over time. It's not going to happen day one to the kids out there.
I agree.
They'll learn how to train the right way. They'll learn how they can get the most out of their training, how to get the most out of their workouts. And then, like Kay said, he started to feel his body change. You know, he started to feel, oh, I know, you know, that I can do this a little bit more now. Oh, I can get to this spot a little bit more now because I'm a little stronger now. I'm a little faster now. Even at 10, 11, 12 years old, you know, and I look at it, you know, obviously I've had my two boys that play basketball, whatever. And, you know, my daughter's playing volleyball right now. She's 10 and she's playing 12U volleyball. So you could just see the difference just in like 2 years. It could be 18 months. You see the difference, shorter,
6
not as
months,
strong,
9
you
months.
know, not as fast, can't jump as high, you know. So like as those things continue to mold and get better and you start seeing your body transition and you start, the only thing that matters the most early on is that you want to do it and you got the love to do it. You got to love it. Because that's going to keep you coming back. The body's gonna do what it's gonna do. You're gonna go to sleep one day, and then you're gonna wake up, and your knee gonna be hurting. You're like, what the hell?
Man,
You're like, what the hell's going on? You're gonna wake up one day, and you're gonna wait, and you're gonna say something to your mom, and your voice gonna be a little bit deeper. You're gonna be like, oh shit. You know, so like it happens like that.
But you're right, though. It's the love. Like you can't live without it right now, right? Like, I've had to move on. It's hard. Right, it's hard. You're not too far away. You're not too far away. Like, you guys now have a immediacy with that. Like, you know that you got to make the most out of this. You've seen there, been there, done it. Like, that all starts with love. Yeah,
for sure.
And it's gonna stay there with love, you know, because we can easily get jaded by the business of basketball and the responsibility that comes with being a breadwinner in some of our families. Or it's a lot that comes with being an NBA player that we don't discuss a lot. You know, it's like that unsaid thing, you know, but we deal with a lot as human beings and as basketball players, but when you get on that basketball court, that is like your
sanctuary, man.
Yeah, you can't let that get affected by all of the that comes with life, you know what I'm saying? So once you keep that sacred, and it takes some time for people to understand how sacred that is. Like, I'm not coming here to interview with y'all if I ain't work out today. Like, I'm not gonna change my workout. I love you, Bron. I love you, but I'm not.
They definitely told me Kay can only do after 2:30. I'm like, see, I work out at 7 a.m. I gotta wait till 2:30 to see this motherfucker.
It was just like I just can't compromise that. You know what I'm saying? At this point,
100%.
You know what I mean? And I think that's what we all get to once we love something.
Do you think another driving factor in our careers right now is others who had the talent and others who had the same opportunity didn't make the most of it in their later careers?
Yeah,
like people that we grew up watching, people that, you know, that you felt like, damn, I wonder if they worked hard. I wonder if they really put the time into it.
1000%.
To now, like you look back, sometimes I go back and look at certain players back in the day, I'm like, damn, he only played 11 years.
Yeah, no,
or he only played 8 years. Like and when you're young, you don't really know, but it's like.
Nah, you're right. I mean, you definitely look at. I mean, because if you're not looking at the guys that come before you as examples, then.
And good or bad, correct?
Yeah, you know, good or bad, then you're not going, you know, it's hard for you to, you know, be ready for what's ahead. Like, I've seen guys that You know, you drove me every day. Go and watch your games, watch your box scores. I'm like, all right, if he on that level, why can't I try to be at that same level too? So that drive, but then you look at guys who didn't necessarily pan out, and you know their situation, and you want to avoid that too. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, all of that stuff plays a factor, but it's not just one or two or three things that make you a good basketball player, things you have to do to be a great basketball player. It's so much you got to retain and understand in order for you to get the full potential out of yourself, you know what I'm saying? And the research is a big part, in my opinion, of becoming a great basketball player. Who you listening to talk the game. What you watching, how you watching it, how you watching film. You know what I'm saying? Are you researching old players and see what they did to understand the foundation they laid down for you?
Are you being real with yourself?
Are you being real with yourself when you watch film? Are you holding yourself accountable after games? Right after the game, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of stuff you got to ask yourself. You got to recommit to this game. Just like you sign a new contract, every time you get better as a player, I truly feel that you got to recommit and sign that contract with yourself every so often. Like, all right, yeah, I'm 10, 12 years in, I got 4 MVPs and 4 championships. Like, but do I still want to do this shit? You know what I'm saying?
Because you know how hard it is.
Some people say, I want to go play baseball.
Right?
Yeah. And then I want to come back. Or some people say, I'm going to go 22 straight. And, you know what I'm saying? So it's a contract I feel like you got to have with yourself, too, in order for you to be a, you know, great ball player. Or to have a long career. That's the goal, to be in the league for 20 years. I tell you, that's the goal. However you want to get there, but you got to recommit to yourself before you commit to anything else.
That's interesting. But, like, all that's a factor, like seeing what other people did, seeing maybe they didn't fulfill their potential, they didn't keep going as long as they could have, but it all starts again with that love, that passion for what you do every day.
For sure.
You know,
because that ain't gonna last. That ain't enough.
Right?
That ain't enough
right?
to keep you going, seeing what other people did and didn't do.
It's about you at the end of the day.
It's about,
You can't just chase other people. You gotta run your own race. You gotta be deeply inside it and engineer that thing, drive your own bus. You know what I mean? I was gonna say, how does that, at this stage, you're like, what is success? I asked you first episode, what does success look like for you, like the rest of your career? How do you approach it?
For me, it's just
year coming into 19? 19, yeah. 19.
It's just about, for me, it's just about being in it every day. Like, and when I mean in it, it's just like every detail I gotta be, like, if my coaches need to ask me about anything, no matter, you know, I got to be ready. If I got to jump in the drill first, you know what I'm saying, to demonstrate the drill. If I got to be, you know, play a whole scrimmage and practice even on, you know, 35, 36, I don't want to. I got to set that example of, like, no matter how old I am, that I'm still trying to be great every day.
Yeah, there's a standard.
You know what I'm saying? That's really what I'm in it for, is just continue to live up to that every day, whether it's shoot around, practice, or a game. And I think I love living up to that standard.
Similar. He was process over, you know, the process, trying to be great every day and, like, leaving an example for other players.
And if you do that, then win, lose, or draw, shit, I mean, we get frustrated with losses. We've been to the mountaintop before. We want to get back there. Yeah. But you sleep better than the contrary if you wasn't doing the other shit.
For sure.
And you lose.
Yeah, for sure.
You're like, oh, I just cheated a season away.
Yeah, exactly.
I just cheated a week away. I just cheated a day away.
Right.
For what? Because at the end of the day, this game that we're playing, the basketball game, the life game, whatever the case may be, the game in general, it's not no dress rehearsal. It is right now. We live. We live, baby. Yeah. And we got to get to it. We got to make the most of it when you're that person. Right. When you have the it factor, it's not a dress rehearsal for it. You don't get. You're not allowed to have a dress rehearsal. The others do.
Got to be on every day, and that's the beauty of being given that much responsibility. Is that you got to be on every day. It's easy when you get 2 days a week where you got to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? But you challenge yourself. You reach different heights as a human being. I think this game. Of course, you want to be great at playing basketball, but there's so many life lessons within the game that enlighten you just on everything. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not open-minded to that part of it too, not just being a highly touted, great player, everybody love you, and you got the most points and you got the accolades, but do you actually truly care about coming in every day and being the best that you can be as an individual. And it may not be just shooting the ball, putting it in the basket. It may be your influence, what you say to your teammates, how you're encouraging your coaching staff, you know, how coachable you are as an individual. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff I try to stay conscious of, because I know the heavy influence that I have as being a veteran in the league, accomplished so much into the league. Just walking into any gym, it can, people attend just, you know,
for sure.
You got to
For
make
sure.
sure they're comfortable too. So I try to come into the gym and make sure I'm locked in on being a team player, you know, true and true.
You guys are approaching it the right way because there's someone who's already gone over the other side, right? Like, there's a lot of reward in life. Like, there's a lot of things to enjoy, to challenge yourself with, but like, this is special. Like, it's hard to replicate this once it's done. Yeah, you have family or you have new interests, endeavors, but to be the best in the world or thereabouts at something and to fight for it every day and have that passion to want to get up and do it and think about it going to bed.
Not like it.
There's nothing like it, and when it's gone, it's like you guys will both do great things when you're done playing. You're both already incredible at business, at life. Once you're done playing, you're done playing.
Yeah, for
that
sure.
never comes back.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
getting every drop out of it, one, I think is the right approach. Two, it makes it okay when it's over.
Yeah, yeah.
It makes it okay.
For sure. I can't wait to hold up the sign with my grandkids that I scored 101 points in the game before.
It's coming.
Yeah, for sure. Matter of fact, we should take it right now so I can just, I can hold it up and now.
They not gonna believe you?
Right.
Yeah. Right, that's what I'm saying.
Just 100?
Right, I'll pass Kobe. Yeah.
Something else I want to ask you about is, here you are with this incredible passion, incredible efficiency. Still, you tore an Achilles, like later in your career.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And forgot about it. Like, that's crazy.
Right.
In your 30s, you tore an Achilles, recovered, still incredible player. We right now, Dame and JT, are going through that. Two great players. You know, obviously Dame's in his 30s, JT's in his 20s. Like, maybe talk a little bit, like. Talk to camera, JT. No, but you know what I mean? But talk a little bit about like what that took and what these guys have in front of them. Because 25 years ago, maybe 15, 25 years ago, I don't know that you could.
I mean, even when I had it, I felt like, damn, that's
Is this it?
Because it was always like for us, I mentioned like for basketball players, that injury is the worst thing you know, for football players, a concussion you don't want to get. Like oh man, a concussion, like, you know, if you get too many of those, it's over. You know, they try to keep you out. And for us, like, you know, an Achilles is like it's something that's.
It was a grind, and of course, you know, JT and Dame, you know, hit me up. I feel like I'm the Achilles guy.
Well, you are.
Yeah, like everybody hit me up when they had their Achilles and
the best.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys. I feel like a lot of guys have bounced back and became themselves again. Mine's is the most, you know, popular, but I feel like a lot of guys have bounced back that I took inspiration from when I was going through my journey. But those guys are cut from a cloth that, you know,
How they got here.
yeah, it's rare. They're rare individuals anyway. So this is just a little stoppage in their journey that they just gonna have to sit down and lock in on, and it's easy. I think it'll be easy for them to lock in on once they truly grasp that, like, I'm gonna be out for a year, and I think that takes a few weeks for you to truly understand. It's just probably their first time in their whole lives.
Yeah.
They got to sit down and not play sport. They physically can't play.
Yeah.
That's probably the first time that they had to go through that, and that's just you can either elevate or drown, in my opinion. And I think both of those dudes have shown you time and time again that they're going to continue to elevate as individuals and as players. But it's a grind, man.
It's a grind.
Like, you see me every day. You see me. It was grumpy
Even when you
day.
were back.
Yeah.
The amount of work you have to do to
Still,
make sure it
you
does
still
today,
have
right?
to
Like,
rehab when I'm playing. You know? I'm still doing some of this stuff that I was doing in that rehab. So it's going to be your game and your body is going to for sure change. I'm telling people with Dame, he shoot a lot of those deep threes. When you tear your Achilles, your calf muscle,
Atrophies.
goes to nothing. You sit around for 3 months and you can't move your calf. It's because if you look at mine now, I wish I could show people. My right is smaller than my left. But that's just from not using it for those 4 or 5 months.
just completely shut down.
It completely shut down.
Yeah.
So that's most of the work.
Right.
Is getting that calf back to that. You got to get it bigger and stronger. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's going to be the adjustment for them. And those deep threes that both of those guys shoot, they shoot a lot of tough step back threes.
Yeah.
I think and I was shooting those before. You know, I got injured, and I fine-tuned my game to take some of that stuff out, the side step.
Yeah.
Just not because it's a bad shot, it's because I didn't truly have enough power in my right leg yet in order for me to do those moves. So it's going to be that type of adjustment for guys coming back from Achilles, is just building that power up. And once you get confidence, you
for
just,
sure.
because I just threw myself out there too. I'm hooping. As soon as I can hoop, I was playing. You know, so once they just throw themselves out there, man, them dudes gonna be all right, man. I can't wait to see them bounce back.
The overcoming is great, right? Because you're the whole time you're like, am I coming
Yeah,
back?
exactly.
There's anxiety, there's
Exactly.
doubt. You're fighting every day to overcome it. You come back, you succeeded. I get it. Amazing. Almost, we take it for granted, really. Like even when I coached you, I took it for granted. Like sometimes because you were playing so well, moving well, like what you'd been through. But did that time off change you at all? Like open your mind to stuff?
It did open my mind to just the anatomy of human body. You know, just learning my body, understanding, power transfer or, movement patterns and, different ways to work on muscles in the weight room that allow me to be at my best. What exercises is tailored to my game specifically. I started learning more about that stuff, which, made my workout regimen just even more detailed and routine. And, so before that, I was, in the weight room a lot and working on my body, but it was no real intention or purpose when I went in there. Now it's just like, I know exactly what
Super specific.
Yeah, way more specific on what I'm doing in the weight room. And I think that's the reason, majority of the reason why I was able to bounce back the way I did.
When you think back to our time in Brooklyn, what do you think of?
Him stepping on that damn 3-point line.
We had this
That's
conversation.
that's one of them. Stepping on that damn
I can't get away from it too, because they gonna repost that and tag me in that. But we had this conversation in Portland, I think, right before a game, and I'm like, who am I spending my next 5 years with? I had just signed that deal. You had just signed the deal, but I feel like we were secure, but everything else around us was going to shit. Not in a bad way. We got GMs going to other teams. We got coaches going to other teams. We got players forcing trades. We got bringing Ben Simmons. He's back. Like, it was just so much
Stuff going on.
bullshit around us. I feel like we were locked in on the same page and understand, like, well, we're trying to do something special here. And I felt like your hands were tied a lot because you had to, as a coach, you got to deal with so much.
Didn't get to coach as much as I wanted to.
That's what it was. I didn't think we didn't get the full Steve Nash like I wanted, like you probably wanted. I just felt like it was just too much, too many distractions in a way, and you can't win that way. And but I felt like we had great intentions though. I felt like we cared enough. I felt like every day we were trying to push towards winning the champ. It was a great vibe in there. It's some of the best times. That first year, that's why I signed that deal. That first year, man, most fun ball I had. Some of the most fun ball I had playing my whole life. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Brooklyn a lot. I love playing for Brooklyn, but it's just so much
Stuff happened.
around the guys that were committed to the situation. I felt like we were committed, but everybody else wasn't. It just was weird.
Sometimes I feel like I let you guys down in a way, and then I think about everything that happened.
Come on, man. That shit was...
We had a 3-star roster. The cap is team of 3 stars. Played 16 games together.
We balled out every game we played together.
That's one. You could go down the list and add all these things, and for me, I end up feeling like I'm making excuses. Reality is, from my perspective, I feel a little bit like I let everyone down, but then I realized there was so much to me, and I just wish I had more of a chance to develop as a coach
I think so too. I just think your hands were tied too many times. You had to be a principal more so than anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just couldn't like inject your basketball. You know what I'm saying? Just everything that you have basketball. I didn't feel like you could inject that into everybody in the way that we all envisioned. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the distractions, COVID, injuries. More than anything, I think it's injuries. I feel like we had a good chance to win that first year.
But we were injured. James shouldn't have been playing. He was on one leg. Kai was out. Hurt. Jeff Green was in and out.
Yeah. So I think more than anything, I think we had a great chance to win it that year. I stepped on the line, but yeah, it's just
it's life.
Some shit happens that way, man. Like,
right.
But I don't think that should be an indictment on anybody. It's just like people don't understand context though, man, and what truly happens and how you need to really be connected as a group. Like, they just looked at the names and thought it's supposed to be perfect.
And people always think like you said, without context, but also they want to come in over the top and say, they didn't do it, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. I think for guys like that go every day, like our approach to our routines, it's war.
Every day.
We're not afraid to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You know what I mean? So when we lose, it doesn't work out. We're not at home and everyone's like, they're killing. We don't think about that, right? We think about like taking on the chin. Let's get ready for whatever the next war is, right?
We're going putting our boots back on the next year. Like, that's always been a mentality. But the dialogue around the league, the discourse around the league, they don't truly appreciate the journey sometimes of what goes on. Even the ones that don't work out. You can still see some beauty in the Sacramento Kings that didn't win the chip.
Right.
Or your Phoenix Suns that didn't win the championship. Yeah. Like, if you really love the game of basketball, you can pull great things from all of that stuff. And that's what I tend to do with that Brooklyn situation is we had some fun times, we had some terrible times, but that's life. Like that's what makes you a better human being. But for the most, I mean, if I'm being honest, we had more good times than not. Even the times when it was me and four two-way, it was fun to me. Like,
we were successful.
Like, because we locked in as a family, just us for that little 48 minutes, and like a lot of those games were high pressure games, late games. That I'm sure those, even me, I learned from, but those young guys took a lot from that too. So I look at the season like that a lot. Of course, we want to win and go to the chip. But it's little small moments that I can appreciate throughout a year, even though we don't add up to winning. And a lot of people don't understand that. But that shit is in our DNA and our blood. Like, we look at the game of ball like that.
Yeah, I mean, it ended up not being a success, quote unquote, but it's a great experience.
Man, come on,
great experience.
That's all it's about.
Cut us off before we go for another.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I gotta come back part 2.
I think you have to be coming back for part 3.
Yeah, right. I think we got 2 of them. Yeah, we got 2 of them for sure.
We gotta watch some film next time. Break it down.
There you go.
Hey, and I want this on the record. You forgot to mention, the only member of the 55, 40, 90.
55.
I created that club.
That's what I'm saying.
55.
We know that. We ain't gotta put that on.
You meant to say that.
Yeah.
I actually looked it up. One year he was 39.1 from 3. And OKC in 12.
Thanks for bringing it up.
39.1.
And I was 50 from the.
Oh my. Like 91.
Can we get one
That was
photo of
probably
you
like
guys
a
a little
half or
tighter?
3-pointer.
Just
Like
for
sitting
the
or
thumbnail? No,
standing?
standing's fine. Is that, or what do you
Standing's
prefer?
fine.
Yeah.
No, you're in the middle.
Oh,
You're the
yeah.
guest.
You talking about
No. You're the guest. You're the guest. No. You're the guest. This
y'all
is your
fighting.
episode.
Y'all still fighting.
Thanks for watching Mind the Game. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe for more content.